As I record this, I am 2 days away from going on a 2-week road trip throughout the American West, specifically with the idea of doing film photography on this road trip. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. So this morning I'm here, I'm putting the kit together, I'm taking a lot of stuff with me. I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through what I'm doing. I always like these what's in my bag videos. Always feel like I learned something new about other photographers and their process. So some caveats before I start. This might be a do what I say, not what I do type scenario. This is not normally what I do for travel photography. Usually when I'm traveling, I'm a big fan of one camera, one lens, one focal length, keep it simple, keep it consistent, keep it light. However, there's a few things different about this trip. The first being I am shooting film. I've never done a trip this long with mainly film being the main medium. So there's a lot to take for that. I'm doing multiple formats, both 35 and medium format. I'm also going to be in the car for 2 weeks by myself, or mostly by myself. And so I've got plenty of space. It's not like I'm flying somewhere or traveling internationally or even a short weekend road trip. I've got the space to take stuff. So apart from the risk of my car getting broken into, knock on wood, there's really no reason to travel super duper light. I still want to try and keep everything in one bag so I can take it into motel rooms at night. So let's start there actually. This is the Low Pro. I'm not actually sure what number it is, what model number. I'll put it in the description. I've had this quite a number of years. This is my main backpack for when I need to take a lot of stuff like this. I do use this on wedding days or portrait shoots, professional work, because you can fit a lot of stuff in here, particularly as I mostly shoot Fujifilm, stuff smaller, so you can fit a whole kit in this bag here. So let's start with what's not gonna be in the bag, which is gonna be my main workhorse camera for this trip, which is my Leica MP. This is brand new for me, not brand new, it's bought a second hand, got a deal on it, but it is new for me this year. It has sort of been my re-emergence back into 35mm film photography after really 2 years of, really since the pandemic happened, not shooting much film, especially 35mm film. So this is my Leica MP with the 35 Summicron F2. I love this thing so far. I've got this neck rope strap on it from, I think it's called Wells Leather. They do really nice work. I plan to have this around my neck most of the time. This is gonna be sitting in the passenger seat when I'm driving. This is gonna be really what I think the main photographic work is gonna come from. I'm bringing one other lens. That is my Voigtlander 50mm f1.2 Nocton. I love this lens. I actually put this on the GFX sometimes. It's just a really nice lens. It's a really nice rendering, really bokeh. Great lens. I think I'll probably mostly shoot 35 on this, but there may be times where I want that extra pull, so I brought this guy along. It's also, again, very small and can throw in the bag, and just if I need it, it's there. In terms of film, again, I've never done a trip this long just shooting film, so I kind of don't know how much I need to take, so I'm bringing a lot. I've got 20 rolls of Portra 400, 3 rolls of Portra 800, and I actually wanted to shoot more Portra 800 on this trip. However, it's just like really hard to get right now. Sold out everywhere, and it's more expensive. I picked all this Portra 400 up at Film Supply Club. Not a sponsor or anything, just they do a really good job. It's, I think, worth the $7 a month. And I also grabbed a grab bag of things from my fridge that has been in there for a while. I have 2 rolls of Gold 200. I also love Gold 200. I actually kind of prefer it to Portra 400. However, also sold out everywhere. And 2 rolls of Cinestill 800. All these are expired. They have been in my fridge for like 3 years. So I'm hoping they turn out okay. I have 1 or 2 spots where I think Cinestill might really look nice. So, but I think the bulk of this is gonna be in color in Portra 400. I do have some Ilford HP5 as well, which is my favorite 35mm film stock and my favorite 120 film stock. So I am bringing that along just in case. I don't know if I'll shoot much of it. I really envision this as a color project. And that's 35mm. For 120, this is my 120 kit over here. I have my Hasselblad 500C. I do have 2 film backs for it. I only own 1 lens for this camera. It is the Zeiss, the famous 80mm 2.8. Obviously a fantastic lens. I don't know that I wish I had a little bit of a wider lens for this trip, for this camera. I actually flirted with the idea of picking up the 50, I think it's the f4, for landscape work. However, I just couldn't find one in the appropriate price range. And on top of that, spent a lot of money on film and a Leica this year, so money may be a little tight for another lens, even though they were only like $300 or $400 on eBay for a beat up one. I also bring along, I've got that attached here to the lugs with a Clever Supply Co. strap. I like to wear this strap crossbody, so pretty easy to put the Leica around your neck, this kind of across your body, and you have two film cameras. Film stocks, I've got a lot less than I'm bringing for 35, as I imagine I'll shoot more 35 on this, but when I need it, I have the extra quality of the medium format. I've got 5 rolls of Portra 400, 6 rolls actually, a loose one here. 6 rolls of Portra 400, 5 rolls of Kodak Gold, 2 Portra 800s. And last but not least, my Sekonic light meter. This is the Sekonic Flashmate L308B. Funny story about this guy. I picked this up a few years ago. Someone on some classifieds online had like a lot of film stuff they'd picked up from like an auction or a storage unit auction. And they had a bunch of junk cameras and they were like $50 for the whole lot. However, this guy, I could see in the thing was in there. Goes for much more than $50. So I love this guy. I always take it with my Hasselblad. Then for filmmaking, I have 2 of my X-T5s. One of them's recording right now. 3 lenses I'm gonna bring, the 16 2.8, 24 mil. I like this lens a lot for video. I don't like it for photos. It's too wide for me for photos, but for videos, it's really nice because it's so small, it's very sharp, and you can put really small filters on it, and you know, the smaller the filter, obviously less expensive. So this is a really nice little mobile filmmaking kit, especially with the IBIS and the X-T5. I mean, you don't need a gimbal really. For some advanced stuff, sure, but if you're just trying to take some footage as you go, this is a great little compact kit. I also have the 23 f2 and the, this is the 35 f2. This is the 23 f2. What I have is a neutral density filter and a glimmer glass that are kind of stuck together, and then they're 49 mil, so they fit right natively on the 16. I'm doing the calculations in my head. I still talk in full frame terms even though I've been shooting Fuji for years. So both these filters are 49 millimeters. I have a little step-up ring, and so you can just twist that off and stick it onto the 16-2.8 or put it on the 23 and the 35. So I don't know if I'll actually use the 35 much for video, but this is also obviously can be used as a backup camera for digital images if I feel like I want digital, if something about the film isn't quite working. That's for filmmaking. Also have my Rode lav mic. I'm wearing one of them. I have 2 of these, one here and a Zoom recorder. I'll take these along for audio. What is this called? The PGY Tech. I don't know. It's a vlog style tripod. So I really like this little thing. I think it's about $100, but it takes a standard tripod plate. The Peak Design ones also work. So you take this, you've got your kind of vlog, hey YouTube, what's going on? But it also converts into a tripod. Hux! No barking! And then last of the cameras is my Ricoh GR3. I bought this around December of last year. I've really fallen in love with it. I keep it, I know some people like put these in sleeves or try to keep these in a bag to protect it from dust as it doesn't have weather sealing. I literally just keep this in my pocket. I don't know that I necessarily need to bring a 4th camera on this trip. However, this thing is so small, why not? The images are fantastic. It's also wider, it's a 28 mil, so it's wider than the 35 on the Leica or the 50 equivalent on the Hasselblad. So it gives me that extra width if I need it. I traveled to the Bahamas in Miami earlier this year and just took this, and I really didn't feel like I needed much else. So in another world, if I wasn't doing film and I wasn't gonna do video, I would be totally happy just taking this guy and this being my main camera. I do love this thing. And then while most things will stay in the low pro bag, I'm also bringing this. This is my ONA or ONA. I'm actually not sure if it's an acronym or the whole word. This is my Bowery. This was a birthday gift. I love this. This is my sort of daily bag. I expect on this trip I'll keep most things that I'm using in here. So you can actually fit the Hasselblad, the X-T5, and a couple rolls of film in here. So I suspect that I will have the Leica around my neck, this at my shoulder, the Ricoh in my pocket. And when I stop as I'm driving, I mean, this trip will be driving, stopping, getting out at different spots. I'll be in Route 66, I'll be in LA, I'll be in PCH, I'll be in Monument Valley. So getting out at spots and taking a few photos and getting back in the car and driving on. So this will be better for that than necessarily hauling this guy out every time. This is mainly to keep the stuff in for when I'm driving longer distances or going in and out of a hotel. So that is my kit for this trip. It's probably too much. Let me know in the comments below if I'm a crazy person for taking all of this stuff, or if maybe I forgot something obvious. Like, subscribe. You've seen a YouTube video before, you know what to do. And we'll see you on the other side of this trip.